Why is nobody talking about this, Joe Rogan?
It's very weird. It's all very creepy. And the fact that it was a real place. I told you, like, I was telling people that Alex Jones told me about that a long time ago. I thought he was out of his mind. There's a place, they take them, they compromise them, they have with kids, and like, what?
They're turning the frogs gay with the water in them, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, a lot of the conspiracies that came from Alex, it's like they're coming true though, right? It's like there's a saying, today's conspiracies are tomorrow's truth. Like the video, share the video, and we got a movie up ahead.
Impression is so good.
I've known that guy forever. I know that guy before he talked like that. His voice wasn't as scraggly. All the years of tequila and vodka. But I thought it was nuts, and it turned out to be true.
Yeah, but
it's a fucked up world we live in. We need Jesus.
Oh yeah,
I think for
he
real.
needs to come back.
Like if he came back now, it'd be great. Like Jesus, if you're thinking about coming back,
right now,
now's a good time.
Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah,
now's a good time. We're kind of fucked.
Well, there's a lot of people that think
more than just death, to be honest.
Well, it might be
mark of the beast.
That might be the aliens. I mean, that might be what all this stuff is. It might be we reach a certain point where we're so unmanageable and so chaotic that something comes down and gives us a guideline. I mean, this is what Moses essentially experienced, supposedly, right? When he came back with his 10 commandments. This is supposedly what, these people that have had these religious visions. There's a way to follow, and there's a greater power that's above everything, that controls this whole thing and keeps it all together.
I mean, he's gonna come eventually. It's just that we don't know when exactly, right? Because it's been mentioned that he's gonna come towards the end of times, right? In Bible, in the Quran as well. And as a Muslim, I believe that he's gonna come back, right? So it's like, damn, when is he gonna come back? Because it's mentioned that he's gonna come at the end, but is the end nigh? I mean, they always say the end is nigh. The end is nigh.
This shit matters.
Yeah,
that
it does matter.
Yeah, like everything we do matters. I think if atheists, I think, can find their own religion. It might be religion of science or religion of climate change or whatever it might be, but to not believe in a higher power means that really nothing I do matters. Ultimately, I live, I die. That's it.
The way I see it is that if you don't have a religion, if you're an atheist and you do not believe in God, I mean, that's you. That's fair, right? Like, not here to judge you, but the way I see it is that, like, if you're an atheist, you surely do believe in something, though. Either you have faith, you have believe in higher power, or somebody that is controlling everything that's around you, or you're idol worshiping, or you're believing in people, or you're believing in musicians, artists, rappers.
I have a hard time with that because I believe there's a seen world and an unseen world. And there's forces of good and forces of evil, and that there's a purpose for all this. And there's, there's a lot of reasons why we're doing this. There's a lot of opportunities to do this. If there is the Christianity part and Jesus wants to come back and save everything,
it'd be good right around now.
Yeah, I got to think that something. Yeah. I think this is going to be a crazy year. I think something, especially if it gets down to it.
Yeah.
But
it's a wild world we live in. The fact that all this is true, and that this is like inarguably true. All the things we're saying is inarguably true.
That's not the words. Like they talk about some of the stories in the ancient texts and in the Bible. They, they don't have the words to explain like what a spaceship is. It's like, no, it's like a chariot in the sky.
Ezekiel. Yeah. When you pull up the description that Ezekiel had of the wheel within a wheel, my God, it sounds like a UFO.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people, I would like to talk to Tucker Carlson about this, because Tucker Carlson has this belief too. He just talked to people about this, and he thinks it's always been here, and that it's a part of existence, and that this is a part of these biblical stories of angels and devils, and that's what they're really talking about. They're talking about these interdimensional beings. Yeah, it's likely that they've always been here, and it might be connected somehow or another to our minds. The mind, which produces psychedelic chemicals, might also be a gateway to other dimensions. Whatever DMT. You experience when you experience dimethyltryptamine, which
I knew he's gonna bring it in. I knew, like, DMT, Joe DMT Rogan.
It's produced by the brain, which is the key component of ayahuasca. You experience entities. You experience exactly what they're talking about there.
Now, this is absolutely wild. I had this conversation with my friends when I was on a car trip, and we were just trying to go ride horses. I rode horses like I believe a year ago for the first time. It was a very good experience, right? It was very wholesome. And we were talking about like the drugs. We were also talking about like the DMTs, these kind of psychedelic drugs that people claim. I have not done them. They have not done them. None of us did it, but we heard stories, and you constantly hear stories. I mean, Joe Rogan, prime example. He's the main man talking about the DMT stuff, and and they were curious. I was curious, and we're all curious, right? And I'm sure maybe you're watching, not maybe, you are curious if you're watching and you're listening to this, right? You're curious about the DMT stuff, and if any of you have done DMT, surely leave your experience below, because it's like you hear stories that you do DMT and you're somewhere completely different, where you see entities, you meet with them, and everybody has like a different kind of experience, but everybody feel, once they do it, they say that it just feels like that there is a lot more to this life, that there is an afterlife. Obviously, if you're religious, you believe in afterlife. If you're not, you don't. But if you don't believe in afterlife, you do DMT, all of a sudden you start believing in that, right? And people got wild experiences. Everybody gets different experiences, and the only thing that we're not sure about, and it's a very good question, is that whatever you see, is it happening in your mind, or you go somewhere when you do DMT? What I mean by this is that you do the DMT, right? Your soul goes somewhere else, your existence goes somewhere else, and you're experiencing that. Or is all of that happening in your mind, and you're seeing that vision and you're seeing that picture? That's the question. And if it's really in your mind, is it even true though? You know what I mean? Maybe your mind is playing games. It's just one of those things that we do not know. But the experiences that people share are very, very amazing and fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
So what is that? Do we just dismiss that as hallucination?
I think we legalize it and promote it and encourage people to do
And then
it.
the aliens come.
And then
the crazy and the most conspiratorial part of this is that they have made it illegal. I wonder why they have made it illegal.
We realize they've been here all along. I think they've probably been here all along. I think they're probably here right now. They're just not here. They're just not here,
Yeah.
but they're part of this.
Yeah, I agree.
We just have a very limited ability to see.
Do you think they're benevolent?
Probably not. No, I don't think so. I think progress requires a lot of chaos. I
think if they were, we would have been just over. We would have been done. I know there are conspiracies that say that we have made treaties with the aliens to not kill the humans. I know there are a lot of conspiracies, and I mean, you never know, right? You do not know what's true and what's not true anymore. But still, I would like to believe, just like how on this planet of ours, we got so many different species. Think about this way, right? Like we're like what, 8 billion people right now. By the time you're watching, maybe we're like 9 billion, and there have been so many people before us that passed away. So many people that are gonna be coming in the future. It's like, holy crap, we all are different in our own ways. We all different nationalities, different races. We don't even look the same. We don't even have the same color of the skin. Not trying to be racist, just a fact, right? You know, we all got different races, and that's beautiful. And now let's expand it even further. We got so many different breeds of dogs, so many different breeds of cats, and that's just like 2 different animals with different breeds. Like, then you go in the ocean, you got so much life out there, and those suckers, they actually discover life down at the bottom of the ocean every time they go to try to discover, which is very minimal. It's like 90% of the oceans are undiscovered, and the more they try to discover, the more new species they find. And the deeper you go in the ocean, the more the creatures start looking like aliens in nature, right? When I say aliens in nature, I mean like the fishes with like weird faces and crap like that. Something that you never thought would be down there, but it's like, holy crap. I mean, different flies, bees, you get the idea, right? Like so many different animals with different breeds and all that. So I would like to believe, okay, if what they say is true, that there are billions of galaxies, and within those galaxies, billions of stars, billions of planets. If all of that is true, right, there's gotta be life out there. And if there's life out there, there's gotta be different breeds, for example, different races of the aliens. I would like to believe that there are multiple species of them too, though. You know what I mean? Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad, just like us humans. Some of us are very, very bad, some of us are very, very good. Some of us are good, but you know, things make us do some bad stuff all the time too. So
think human beings in particular, innovative, creative creatures, have to have something to battle against to become their better selves. We find that in human beings. I think there's probably a universal rule as far as how progress gets perpetrated. It probably gets created through battle.
There's got to be some benevolent races, though, if there's multiple races of...
Perhaps benevolence is just like our desire for ultimate peace. We have this like ridiculous idea that, you know, like you can have good with no evil. And there's no real evidence for that.
No, I agree.
Okay, now that's a good point, though. It's like one of those things, right? Like, this is the way we think, right? We assume and we think that some of them are going to be benevolent, just like I was talking about it. I would like to believe that some of them are going to be good and evil. But that's the thing, though. This is like my human mind trying to assume and predict and think, right? If these species are real and they exist, which I believe they are, but if they are real, they probably do not think like us, though, right? They probably think different. It's what if like they look at us like how we look at ants on our planet, right? And yeah, ants, another species on our planet. Oh shit! Yeah, and they got different different breed, species, whatever you want to call it. It's like there's so much life out there. Trees are alive as well, man. Oh shit! I hope you know that. Yeah, trees are alive. There's life inside trees. Yeah, they cannot physically move, but it's like, you know, the trees, they die, they regrow, they have life all over again. Death, life, you know, you go to bed, you sleep, you wake up. It's like we're all preparing for death at the end of the day, right? When you think about it, sleep in a way, it's like a temporary way of passing out.
Agree.
There's no real evidence as far as human society.
Eyes Wide Shut's pretty
Oh my
crazy
God,
movie.
that is pretty crazy. Because back when Eyes Wide Shut first came out, everybody's like, well, that's not real. And then you hear about Epstein's Island, you're like, maybe it was. Maybe there are parties like that.
Well, there's a conspiracy that he was killed because of that movie.
Really?
You know
What
about this?
movie?
How many people, like those guys that were CEOs that had given him money, hundreds of millions of dollars? The fact that you would walk in the foyer of his house in New York City and Bill Clinton's wearing a fucking dress and a painting, you know, and Bill Clinton was on the flight
and the Bush
logs.
painting?
Yeah, and still, there's no effort whatsoever to try to get to the bottom of it, find out who the people were and why they were there, and there's no like real hardcore congressional investigation of what was being done, how were they being influenced, what was it about.
Why do you think that is?
Some fucking powerful people on that list, Jack. If there was an Epstein's Island, which there was, and if
There could be other ones.
Should we actually cover more stuff about Epstein on this channel? Do you guys want me to cover more or not? Because I'm getting a lot of videos recommended on it, and of course, like I know stuff about it, but I'm not like super deep and I'm not super knowledgeable on the Epstein situation. Obviously, I know the basics and what have been done and crap like that, but I don't have like the deep knowledge. Maybe I can be up to date. Maybe I can try to up myself to date, and once I'm updated on the information, then we can start have those videos, and that is if you guys want to.
For sure. For sure. Why wouldn't it be?
He didn't kill himself either.
He definitely didn't. No, I don't think he did.
Did you ever see that congressional hearing?
What is this? Ghislaine Maxwell could make millions from Jeffrey Epstein scandal. How's that?
Writing a book?
Yeah.
How is that lady alive?
It says she can take all profits, including any
It's all about the
documentaries,
money, yeah.
podcasts, and films that come from the book.
Wow.
She only has a 20-year sentence.
A lot of weird stuff.
Well, that weird stuff, it used to be so easy to dismiss. But now, you know, it's the Alex Jones was right meme. Like, you realize how many times that guy's been right? Like, how is he so good at predicting all these things that are happening? Because the guy's...
Today's conspiracies are tomorrow's truth, and the thing that he said that the fluoride is turning the frogs gay. There was a study that I heard about, not entirely, not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that one, whether that was true or not. But I heard that a while ago, and I was talking to my friends about this. That whatever Alex said about the frogs, it's true. I need to recheck it because in my mind, I'm getting the memory that I researched, and it's like I got the study and I saw that, and it's like it confirmed what Alex was saying was true, but it's been so long ago that right now I have to recheck it whether that was true or not, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to be upfront and transparent with you guys, but from memory that I recall, I believe he was actually right. I mean, there has been so many conspiracies that he predicted. I don't want to say he predicted. I think he actually heard the information and it's like he shared and it turned out to be true.
balls deep in it all
But
day.
there's gotta be stuff that he got it wrong as well. You know, we don't want to always look at the stuff that he got right. But there's gotta be stuff that he got wrong as well.
Long.
Yeah.
You could call him right now. It's like, I'm doing the documents. I'm reading the research right now. This is sick. This is what they're doing. This is the plan. I talk to him all the time. We text each other every time something's crazy. I'll text him like, "What is this?"
We need another Joe Rogan and Alex podcast, man. Like the video if you agree. And it's you gotta think about this way, right? Like, why they deplatform him? There's a reason for it.
He'll send me all these fucking documents.
He's talking about. I saw something he said the other day about. You gotta have your shit ready in case they.
Yeah.
Turn the power off, turn the water off, or something.
Well, there's a lot of people that think that.
Oh damn.
Including me. Because if I was a foreign government and I wanted to cripple America, I would kill the power grid.
I mean, like, there has to be something that I don't know what it is.
Aliens.
I mean, it might be.
Might be the only thing.
It might be. I mean, it's interesting to see how much has changed.
There's like very interesting conversation happening about this topic specifically, that, you know, turning off the power grid, blackout completely. You cannot use your money in banks and stuff just falling down, shutting down. And there's a lot of talk happening with the solar, I believe solar flares, like sun flares and whatnot. If it hits at the right time, at the right area, when I say right area, I mean bad area, like this is gonna be bad for us if that happens. You know, we are living back in Stone Ages for a little bit. Can be weeks, can be months, can be years. I've been hearing a lot of that. So it's like, I guess the thing is that you gotta have some cash on you. Because I'm the type of guy that, I know it's gonna sound really, really bad, but I'm the type of guy that don't even keep a penny here with me.
Bruh.
I don't even keep a penny here, but I'm working on it right now. Right now, I'm like getting some cash ready. You know what I mean? You gotta have a little bit off. You know, there's a saying that you gotta have like at least 10 grand for 6 months. That's like USD, but if you're in Canada, they gotta be a little bit more. Just keep like 6 months, and that's like good financial advice that I heard as well. Is that like, you know, if you ever go broke or you ever lose your job, you gotta have a little bit of cash to survive till you can rebuild yourself and find a new job. Like 10 grand for 6 months. If you're very frugal with it, you can live very, very okay-ish with that. And I think that's a good amount of money to have in cash on you at all times, but not on you specifically, but you gotta have it on you somewhere safe in your home or apartment or wherever you are, right? It can be very helpful.
In that, over the last, 15 years, just how people can talk about it now without being called crazy.
Yeah.
There's some disclosure.
Mm-hmm. And the darkest theory is one that Lazar talked about. He said is something that they talked to him about when he was working on these back engineered crafts, is that what they use us as is vessels that we are souls. We hold souls, and that this is essentially a farm, and this is how they develop souls through us, and that what our soul is. I mean, if you had to imagine what our soul is some force, something that they farm here with us. When we die, it transcends and becomes whatever they are in whatever space they exist in.
Holy crap.
That's what Bob said?
He's talking about it, that this is one of the crazier stories that has to do with religion that's attached to the UFO phenomenon. And Diana
Tucker's talked about the demonic part of it. Yeah. What did Diana say?
Well, this is what some of these people think, is that these things have always been here and they are a part of our history. Yeah. And that this idea that they're coming here on these metal crafts from another planet is not necessarily the whole picture.
But don't you think there has to be some sort of field of value that can...
Yeah, like if you think about it, like there have been so many paintings that depicts UFOs, that have UFOs on it, like people seeing stuff in the sky. You got paintings that are thousands and thousands of years old when we didn't even have cameras, right? I truly do. And also there's another conspiracy is that not all the UFOs you see in the sky are coming from space. They have been here, they're coming from the underground. There's that conspiracy too.
Can orient people into like, hey, let's do things a little bit better because these things actually matter. There is right and wrong. There is morality. There is certain, like...
Well, unfortunately, the problem with living in a secular society and living in a society that has a lot of people that are atheists, that have no belief system at all, is you find a belief system. Yeah. And that's a lot of these people that call themselves atheists, or they've subscribed to the religion of woke. You know, they're
Yeah, if you're atheist, man, don't take no offense, but you believe in something though, and that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? We all are humans. We all believe in something. It just happens to be some people believe in religion, other people idol worship, some believe in these elite groups out there, some believing and worshiping the devil. We all humans, we all are creatures of habits. We believe in something. We all do. Whenever, you know, shit runs dry, whenever the well runs dry, whenever we are feeling hopeless, we turn to that. And whatever you turn to, that's the thing you are following.
their God is equity and inclusiveness. And their God is this ideology that they think that you have to subscribe to. And that's why it's spooky. But I think as time rolls on, people are going to understand the need to have some sort of divine structure to things, some sort of belief in the sanctity of love and of truth. And a lot of that comes from religion. A lot of people's moral compass and the guidelines that they've used to follow to live a just and righteous life has come from religion.
Yep. This, guys, if you love conspiracies, let me know. Click on this video on the screen. This was the last conspiracy that we've done. This is gonna blow your mind. Check this out and I'll see you right there. And definitely let me know if we should do more or not.